How about Melling from deep? Oh my goodness gracious.
Deseret News Rewind is presented by Heidemann & Associates, a full-service law firm dedicated to winning for you. Call them now for a free consultation. Welcome in Deseret News Rewind. Dusty Litster and Dane Stewart, as always, presented by Heidemann & Associates, brought to you by the Utah Army National Guard.
That's right, Dusty, and we talk about it every week, but we just want to remind you, in case it's been a long week or maybe you had something hit you out of left field you weren't quite expecting, maybe something legal. Call the experts at Heidemann & Associates. We wouldn't recommend them if they weren't the best option for you. Full-service law firm with locations all throughout the state of Utah, including up and down the Wasatch Front. 801-754-4240, and if you tell them Deseret News Rewind sent you, free consultation. They're going to take care of you.
Absolutely. Not only that, if you're looking for that next step, we start getting ready for New Year's resolutions, and you want to take that next step in your job, trying to figure out how to do it without losing some money in the process, because you don't want to go back to school with all those different things. Utah Army National Guard, up to 150 job options that you can go through, job trainings, and up to $20,000 depending on the job training you choose, and a signing bonus. Not in salary, it's signing bonus. And go learn more at nationalguard.com about more than just military service, about the next steps in life. Most of our next steps, we go through the girls' season. And the girls' basketball season heating up. We're here at a tournament here at Corner Canyon, the runner-up of the 5A championship. Go look at our other videos as well. The football videos are out, the award show, but go check those out. But before, as we get into those, we had a chance to see one of the top shooting teams as we get into the opening statement, brought to you by Heidemann & Associates. Get a chance to see the Sky Ridge Falcons.
Yeah, this is a team. Look, if you've been following girls' basketball, you know, right? They're going to try to beat you from beyond the arc. And the display we had here at Corner Canyon, Sky Ridge, Corner Canyon, they kind of have a nice little rivalry going on. Hey, the girls will come play here anytime. How about the way that they shot the rock in this one? Because you had Melling and Holland get into a shooting fest. Melling ended up winning it. Really, they all did because they're on the same team. But you look at what they did, Dusty, and they were up and down the floor. And this is against Harriman, who came into this game undefeated. The Mustangs have been really good this year. This was all Sky Ridge from early on, and Harriman tried to respond a little bit, made some nice runs to get back to within single digits. But boy, Sky Ridge, that three-point barrage just continued to flow, and Coach Roberts, he recognized, hey, we don't have a ton of side on the inside. They're strong enough in the post. Lundell does enough inside for this Sky Ridge team, but when you get that three ball going, the driving ability of Blackham with the kick-out options, and they'll work things in their offense as well for Melling and Holland to get open looks. This Sky Ridge team, they showed every bit. They've lost one game this year to a team from California. It's going to be interesting to see how many Utah teams can compete with Sky Ridge, who looks to be a real strong contender in 6A.
When they're hitting that three, it makes it really, really tough. Well, let's go through the regions. I feel like this is the best way to kind of go through the week and what we've had, and a lot of schools at tournaments and everything else. But coming into today, Region 1, we're going to bang the Region 1 bell for as long as we can because they're just that good. Davis, undefeated 7-0 on the season. Syracuse and Fremont 7-1, and then Fremont at 7-2.
Boy, really interesting when you look at that. Fremont team, a lot of expectations. What about Syracuse, huh? I mean, this was not a team that I had a lot of preseason expectations for. No offense, Titan Nation, I love you. But I did not expect them to be this strong out of the gate. Davis, we kind of knew they were building. You could see that a year or so ago that this is going to be a program that's going to be strong in future years. I think we're going to learn a lot about Syracuse, but really early on in region play. They've got a matchup against Davis early in region. I think we'll learn a lot about the Titans in that one. Sanders had a really good year for the Titans to get things going. This Fremont team still kind of the cream of the crop. How about Layton, too? Layton has had some sneaky good games, and they've had some high point outputs. Watch out for the Lancers kind of lying in the weeds, but feels like they're starting to get things put together.
Kylie Mabry from Davis averaging nearly 16 points a game. Really, she's been spectacular. She's going to continue to be in Region 1. Region 2, we got to see West Jordan. This is going to be interesting. West Jordan came into, they lost to Corner Canyon. Young team, though. This is a team, a few seniors, but a lot of freshmen. The best player just might be a freshman.
Yeah, this is a really young group, and it's going to be real interesting to see how they kind of develop, right? Because this could be a year that maybe doesn't go their way ultimately because of some of that inexperience, or it could be one where you see them taking large strides. They're 5-2 right now. You got to feel really good if you're a Jaguar fan. The thing you got to love is the setup in this region. You feel like you should have the ability to compete night in, night out. Now, this Granger team, continue to say, we talked about it last week, you got to keep an eye on them. They got a player coming back off of injury, trying to get the legs back under them. might, help Granger create some separation in that region. But this is going to be a real interesting region to watch kind of unfold as region play prepares to start.
Yeah, Madison Anderson, she can stay out of foul trouble.
Yeah.
West Jordan.
She is a real key. You could see it today.
Yeah.
She is a real key for them.
Yeah, she's really good out of West Jordan. All right. Region 3, we saw Harriman. We talked about it a little bit earlier. Bingham's starting to find their stride just a little bit. And Copper Hills, dealing with an injury. They got to, we'll see how long Eliana Tafisi is going to be on the sideline.
Yeah, I heard Bingham, too, with an injury, one of their starting 5. Haven't confirmed that, but right now some of the top teams in the region a little dinged up. And, both players from both teams expect to be back at some point during region play from what we've heard. But, boy, that could alter the trajectory of Region 3. You think about how important Tafisi is for Copper Hill. So good handling the ball, handling some of that pressure. And now all of a sudden, who do you give the ball to deal with some of that press, right? And it becomes an issue. And for Bingham, you got a real key player, one of your leading scorers, that you're going to try to figure out how to work them back and hope that injury isn't real severe. Going to be interesting to see how this all plays out. This Harriman team, I think, is good. I think it was a tough night for them. Had a number of plays at the rim, just couldn't finish. Jada Van Dyke, really good score, struggled here tonight. That's not going to happen night in, night out. I think this Harriman team's still going to be fine. But boy, this Region 3, it's going to be a real fun race.
Yeah, it's going to be a matter of who finds the consistency and who's able to do it. How about Region 4, Westlake? 3 players in triple or double figures: Fano, Hester, and Lundgren.
Boy, just did not expect that from Westlake. You think of all the experience they were graduating. Just felt like it might take a little bit of time for Coach O'Connor getting that next group ready. Yeah, it took them a whole couple weeks, right? Like, they are off and running. And this Westlake team, hey, impressive. Pete G had a loss earlier this week, and we talked about, they're replacing some players as well. Hansen going to be really key for them, including Ogungatau as well for Pleasant Grove. Lone Peak had a tough loss as well. I think this region's still going to be competitive. Obviously, Skyridge, we talked about how good they are. Corner Canyon, a team that feels like some of the inexperience that they're going to try to develop as well. We saw some sophomores today really step up and have big games for Corner Canyon, a freshman as well. Don't know if they're going to be ready to compete for region title this year, but this is going to be a team that's going to be building for 2-3 years down the road. Going to be really, really strong.
Yeah, and you see the fight they're going to be building here at Corner Canyon. Might look a little bit different. Those girls get older. They'll play a little bit faster. Yeah, absolutely. Let's go to 5A now. And how about Farmington, still undefeated? And they got a 2-headed monster in Farrell and Kunzler.
Well, I'll tell you what, Farmington sent notice this week, Dusty, because they played Green Canyon. This is a game we thought about covering because both these two teams had really impressive records coming in, really impressive players. This is an overtime win, 59-55 for the Phoenix. It was Valerie Kunzler, 18 points, hit a pair of threes. Delaney Baker went 16 and 9 for Farmington in the win. How about Green Canyon? Shantae Falslip, 22 points, hit 2 threes. Eskelson had 15 in the loss. This is a heck of a matchup. Green Canyon, it's going to be a really, really tough out in 4A, but that Farmington team, to me, proved their mettle with that win.
Yeah, they light it up from the outside.
Yes, they do.
Well, how about Highland? Last couple of years of Highland, hey, how about the defense? They had 2 players averaging over 30 points. When they only scored maybe 30 points a game last year, you got Glasker and Lungy. What is this, Bingham? Averaging 16 and 15.5 points a game.
Awesome to see Glasker, right? We saw her as a freshman. You saw her contribution, see her offense and her impact on the game really improve. It's been fun to watch. How about Olympus? I'll give you a name to watch out for. Alyssa Blank. Kind of saw her, right, have a couple of impressive games for Olympus. Talked to an Olympus fan, he's like, watch out for Alyssa Blank. Just kind of confirmed what we had previously seen. 42-39 win over Viewmont this last week. She had 18 points, hit 3 threes, 9 rebounds for Alyssa Blank. She's an impressive youngster to watch for the Olympus Titans.
Region 7, you know where I'm heading. Lehigh. The Lehigh Pioneers, how about this week? They scored 91 points against Mountain Ridge and 67 against Orem. Guess what? Guess what they averaged giving up this week? In 2 games.
40?
33. Both games, they give up 33 points. They give up 66 points this week.
You ready for this, Dusty? You mentioned that game against Mountain Ridge. You know what the score was in the first quarter? 34-2.
I'm only laughing because it's...
Macy Warren, how about this night, huh? 40 points, 8 threes. Wow. The Lehigh Pioneers. Look out.
Region 8. Springville's at 6-3. Other than that, is anyone going to challenge Springville in Region 8?
I don't know. I mean, I think Springville's been really impressive. Mountain View had a nice win this week over Murray. That's a team that's been really Jekyll and Hyde, the Murray Spartans. Some nights it looks like, oh, this is a team that should compete in Region 6, and some nights like, I didn't quite see it from Murray tonight. Maple Mountain got that 49-40 victory. Kinley Nelson, 17-15 in that game. 17-15. Look, if you have a good post, you can be in any ball game, right? Can you get that against Springville? I don't know. We're going to find out. We'll have 2 opportunities to learn that this week. But that Region 8, be interesting to see how that unfolds.
It's going to be very interesting to watch how it goes. All right, let's get into the quick hits brought to you by the Utah Army National Guard. Again, the $20,000 in signing bonuses, depending on the job you want, or the $20,000 in tuition assistance if you're going to go to school. Let's look at the other regions outside of 5A and 6A. Who stands out to you?
How about this performance? Pineview had a 64-20 victory over Crimson Cliffs, but it was a performance of Avery Papa, 24 points, 12 rebounds, and then Alex Olson had 11 points and 10 steals for Pineview in a nice victory.
How about Snow Canyon? I mean, they're undefeated on the year. They are 7-0. Desert Hills 6-0. Region 9 could be very, very interesting to watch on the southwest side of St. George.
How about Ridgeline and North Summit? Ridgeline 63-50 over North Summit, but it was the Andersons taking care of business. Emma went for 16 and 10. Haley had 16 in the victory for Ridgeline.
You know I like to look for undefeated teams.
Yeah.
How about the South Sevier Rams? 10-0 on the year. Kenzie Jones, Presley Chapel, both averaging over 15 points and one averaging 11. The Rams of South Sevier, I mean, they don't have to run again by Carbon Dinos anytime soon, but they took care of Manti this week, 59-46. Also beat North Sevier, the Battle of Seviers, 54-31.
You know my friend Bob Sacramento?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was talking to him on the phone last night. He has a daughter. Abby Sacramento went for 17 and 2 threes as she led Carbon over Duchesne 52-33. You know what? That failed.
I had a Sacramento.
I really wanted that to be like Seinfeld and just land it. I'm sorry. Abby Sacramento had a huge game for Carbon in their win over Duchesne.
Good softball players are the Sacramentos.
Yeah.
I'll tell you from personal experience.
Yeah.
Line drives right back on my head. But, Carbon. Lady Dinos doing their thing. Just got to get over Skyridge. Grantsville, 7-0. They aren't the football team and baseball team and others aren't the only ones that get the job done heading out to Dover, as it's Mason White, 17 points per game, leading the way. And I always like to add to Ashley Edwards averaging 13 points per game as the Lady Cowboys, the Cowgirls, taking care of business.
We talked about the Andersons for Ridgeline. They had a win over Bonneville this week as well. Haley went for 24 and 5. Emma went for 14 and 5. I'll tell you, folks, Cache Valley, the Andersons, Ridgeline, good duo.
Sounds like it. How about Layton Christian? 9-1 on the season, and they continue to play really good basketball. And they're going to have a big region matchup coming up against Roland Hall. Roland Hall undefeated.
Yeah.
Can the Layton Christian Eagles get over the hump?
How about Draper APA? 63-36 over Freedom Prep. But some individual performances. Paige Nelson, 20 and 13 in the win. And then Jocelyn and Dariana Foster, I apologize if I got that name wrong. They each had 12 rebounds apiece in the game for Draper APA.
Be interesting. Get any more?
One more.
Yeah, one more.
It's not a lower classification game. How about Viewmont? Had a nice win over West this week. Boy, tough year for West.
Yeah.
Bands having a really good year. Tough to find offense around her. 5 Viewmont players scored in that win. Gunno, McCubbins, McKay, Larson, and Maxfield all in double figures in the Viewmont victory.
Well, let's know some of the girls we're missing. We want to give the girls as much attention as we possibly can. I got a lot of teams we're covering. Yeah. And it's going to be very interesting to watch where this girls' season goes. Hit us up on Twitter at Dane News Rewind or Dane_Stewart or at Dusty Litster. We'd love to hear from you. For Vince Francis and Dane Stewart, I am Dusty Litster. Thanks for joining us and watching Deseret News Rewind on Deseret.com.